this tournament qualifies showed us that we can do much more than, and we did more than we expected before. We don't feel pressure, but we feel like the power of energy of our fans. So that's a big thing for us. I love it. We will, of course, we will go to top 3. This will be main goal, because if you make hard goals for you, you'll do better. So I think the top 3 in the major will be good for us. I really want to go, if you think about the Cologne and the stadium, yeah, it blows my mind. I want to be there. I want to be part of this, not watching. That was what was before. I want to be the part of the scene. I want to feel this energy of the fans that looking at us. So I think this is like kind of dream.
Welcome back to the NVIDIA Analyst Desk. We're going to be taking our, well, I was going to say our time. No, we're not. We're going to be making this a quick one as, well, throughout the day, we've got 8 best of ones to chunk through. I've got myself, Thorin, Yanko, and Blue to talk about this one. Right, so CLG Gambit. We've been making lots of silly jokes about CLG and how poor this major is going to go for them, despite the legendary status that they have attached to them. And we haven't spent too much time talking about Gambit. But I think we're going to do things a bit different here. We're going to start with the veto. So, Duncan, if you can quickly explain how this veto works, because it is different to previous majors, as well as what you're expecting to see.
So what happens here is the higher seed gets the choice to be the first team who bans first, or to be the team who bans second. If you're the team that bans first, you will end up banning 3 maps. The team that bans second only bans 2, but chooses what side to start on the map that's selected. So in general, we're expecting most of the higher seeds will actually take that initial option to be the 3-ban team, because you get to ban out an extra map. You really get to decide the direction the map pool heads in. And particularly in this matchup right now, CLG obviously, despite having the legendary status in the higher seed, is probably an underdog here. So they probably want to get another map up for Gambit, especially in this matchup, because actually Gambit famously only has 3 maps in their map pool, basically. They have Cash, they have Cobble, and they have Train. So basically, if you're the CLG guys, you're probably going to either ban all 3, or you're going to pick one that you want to play. So maybe you want to play Train. Here's the thing that's very interesting about this map veto for me, though, is that no one really knows what CLG's map pool is. They haven't really played with this lineup on LAN, so you can't think of the old CLG, because that was so defined by JDM's playing style. So I actually feel like what's interesting is CLG come in holding all the cards, because they can do the bans against Gambit's map pool.
Right.
Gambit, I don't know what you ban if they Gambit. Yeah, they probably just go with standard stuff like Overpass Dust2 and just hope we get something in the middle that we want, you know. So I actually feel like there's a lot of uncertainty in this map veto for everyone.
Yeah, I mean, we'll take a look. So, I mean, let's expand upon that point. Duncan's already said he doesn't consider this CLG the team that picked up that legendary status. Is Yanko, do you kind of agree with that statement, that this is by no means the same team?
Definitely. I feel that JDM was the main carry of that team, and it actually made it easier for Tarek to an extent, because before everyone expected from Tarek to be that main star, and then when the spotlight was kind of off of him, it made him more relaxed, and he did put out some better games. But now when he's supposed to be the main carry on the team, I think that's just too tall of a task for him right now.
Yeah, this is very standard so far. CLG bans out the best map of Gambit, Cash. Overpass ban is actually just Gambit's permaban anyway, so now we're going to go to CLG again. I'm assuming it was going to be Cobble or Train. They've actually chosen to take Train this time. Mirage from the Gambit guys, again, just a map that they don't like to play. Now let's see, does CLG ban Cobble, because that's the other strong Gambit map, or do they like Cobble? They choose to do Nuke instead. So now it's obviously going to be between Cobble and Dust2. So I think if it comes Cobble, it would be the most interesting one. Actually comes Dust2. Interestingly, not one that Gambit really plays. I mean, with this lineup, they've only played it once on LAN.
Blue?
But who knows from CLG, right?
Does that give them more of a chance? Is that like a bit of a kind of olive branch towards CLG?
I feel like going over to Dust2 at the very least, you're going to give players like Kusta a little bit more room to shine. He's always been very comfortable playing on this map. I am curious overall to see like what kind of form Kusta is going to show up in now, because I feel like Liquid changed the way they wanted to use him when he went over to Team Liquid, and ever since then he just had a huge fall off from his time on Enemy, now known as Selfless, and it was just completely different. He played very static when before he was playing very aggressively. I'm hoping he goes back to that more aggressive style on CLG, but ultimately that's up to their leadership deciding how they want to try and use him on this team now. They've traded him for JDM.
And there's more to be talked about in their later matches. We will address Peter, we'll address Kusta and his role in the team. But for now, it is time for predictions. So Dust2, you know the map, you know the roster. What are you thinking?
I do think this is more of an even battleground than it could have been, but I think it's still going to be Gambit. Like, I think Gambit's got the talent. They've got the core, at least. CLG, I haven't seen anything from them yet to know what could be good in that team.
Just a team name, Yanko, what are you thinking?
Gambit.
Gambit, okay. Are you going to be believing in the North Americans?
Not this time, no. I'll go with Gambit.
3 for Gambit. So there is obviously a lot of lack of faith. And that's because there's so many question marks surrounding CLG. We're not sure what to expect. Fortunately, your casters are going to get to experience it, and they'll take you on the journey with us. It's going to be Semler and Anders who are standing by for our second game here at the Major.
Thank you very much, Alex. And yes, everyone on board with Gambit. You're going to go the same way. You could play your North American bias card here, Samler.
I could.
You did grow up in LA, even if you're trying to deny that all the time.
I know, right? Now I'm trying to like wipe that from my memory. It's actually, I actually have to side with Gambit though. I mean, it feels like right now CLG, they've been talking about it as well, that, you know, they didn't have like the best boot camp. They struggled a lot with their prac. So, you know, preparation, is it going to be on point? Are they going to come into this tournament confident? If Gambit rocks them hard from the start, I could see CLG having some trouble getting into this game.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that point. I mean, I'm wondering how much CLG will have sort of put pressure on themselves here. I feel like, you know, they're playing Dust2. They have a bit of an odd lineup, and they haven't seemed to sort of really. I mean, can they be expecting too much? Even if they are in sort of the easiest group of the major here, I still feel like maybe they just come out swinging really, really sort of hard and wide. And in that case, I mean, if Tarek and Kuster are even just going to be playing a little bit, and I mean, Cutler's shown some good stuff as well. If they're just going to come out swinging, then who knows? I've got to say, Gambit and during E-League were looking a bit odd. Sort of, you know, some good performances, but mostly from individual players. You had games where Adrian was sort of going off the charts. You had games where Hooch was playing really well, but never, it seemed, at the same time. So I'm a bit sort of wondering exactly what we're going to see. I definitely wouldn't rule it out that CLG could show up and do some interesting stuff here.
To me, you know, it's like, I believe it was Blue on the desk who was mentioning Kusta. For me, Kusta's the standout player here for CLG, because he's right. You know, when he was on Liquid, he was a very static kind of opera. They used him a lot on A towards cards and on the cars and on the site itself, and he didn't really move too much from there. I'm curious to see how CLG decide to get him into the fight. Is he going to have more freedom, or is he going to be expected once again to just lock down that A site? That's and the other thing to note here is that Pita is continuing to fill that playing role, right? Where it used to be that he was the caller, he was the sixth man, he was the coach. Now, all of a sudden, he's the caller, but he's in the game as well. So definitely a little, I mean, there's a lot moving here, a lot of moving parts for CLG. And Tarek, gotta start it off.
Gonna get right into it seems, straight away, and Mo already taking down Tarek. That's a really good way to start a whole round here. They're gonna be playing on the terrorist side, and that's Gambit Gaming. They don't exactly move up behind that. You know, they just get the first kill. You see, they sort of thought about it for a minute. Should we try and rush it? But I think it is the more solid choice to just stay put for a moment. That leaves Kuster in A, Peter at long, Hazed in middle, and Cutler over at B. That means nobody from CLG can back up each other right now. Whoever is going to get hit is going to have to do it on his own, and that's going to be Kuster. A big test. He's already been headshot. There's no way out of this except death. It's space to take him out. Hazed with a very good flick and trying to see if he could follow it up. They don't need to peek him. They should not be fighting him. It's a 3-on-4 with the bomb down.
Yeah, now, well, this is playing right into Gambit's hands. They love that A site. They are one of those teams that really sticks to catwalk and push up onto that A site, and so they're going to feel comfortable with the situation. Now they've got the after plan. It is Cutler trying to do the best that he can, but it's not going to be good enough. He only gets the 1 kill going into it, but it would have been tough no matter how you looked at it there. Gambit, they had the 4 players surviving. They had control of the bomb site. Only 2 there for CLG to try and make a retake, and so that means Gambit will be picking up the first pistol of this map. It's been a bit of a T-sided pistol day so far. Stralis, Dignitas, both winning their T-side pistols. Now it's Gambit, you know, with the T-side pistol here on Dust2.
Just maybe with a bit of hindsight, but not even that much. I would have probably, since Peter was playing long, I would have probably put Kuster on long as well, but have him play the car position, because then he could try and get some shot with the USP, but if he failed, they could have at least gone for like a full 4-on-5 retake. Not easy, but I think more doable than, because that setup basically says, we're just hoping Kuster will get at least 2 kills. You know, he has to get at least 2 for that to work out. Now they're walking right into the deagle of Hazed, who doesn't seem to be really hitting anything, so I made that sound like it was a dangerous thing, but apparently not.
I like the little use of the lip there to get by, to get out of the tunnel even faster from whoever it was. I think it was Spaze, you know, taking point. Just clipping the lip, making sure that he gets in there quick. But I mean, right now, this is all kind of playing out according to plan here. CLG, another team that seemed to be going away from the 4-spy, at least in the second round. If they lose that pistol, no Kevlar for them, only the pistols. And couldn't be worse timing there for Dren. He's going to be, you know, he jumps up, spots him, but he had the angle with the AK, so now he actually has to fall back and hope that he's going to be able to land some shots. Mo with the jumping shot, though. Looking for the follow-up, not going to hit the flick. This is just turning it like, does he get a stuffed animal or something if he eventually gets the kill? We're at the fair, we're at the county fair right now, you know, it's just like...
I don't think there are any county fairs where they let you shoot at other people to win prizes, Semler. I don't know where in the States you have been, but maybe. go to Texas or something like that and find it. I don't know, that sounds horrific. Third round is going to be coming up here, and as you were pointing out, not much of an investment in that round for CLG, and not so much in this round either, still a little bit pistols. I think more than Astralis were doing when they were on Overpass, but regardless, Gambit are going to be in good form here, and so far it's working out well for them.
Yeah, so far so good. No worries at all. Space is going to be charging right out into a bit of a stack at long, but the flash timing is just barely off. He will be able to sneak his way past, but there are two guys stacked up on the angle. Delayed flash on Space, and he just needs to pull the trigger, but he doesn't realize it. Hooch will trade the kill, though, and he's going to look for more. Not going to find it. Tarek steps in. It's Doja who's going to make the difference. Both UMP kills for him. Bit more money in his pocket, but that was definitely a little shaky there for Gambit. Surprised that Space didn't just hold down mouse 1 at that point. He had the angle right in front of him, and he was flashed when he had it. So if anybody's coming around there, if you've got it with the AK, just hold down mouse 1, go for the spray.
Good use of grenades this time around, though, for Gambit. Smoking off the cross, Molotoving out, a very common position for someone to be holding there. And now Hazed, is he going to be flashed through? Actually, what just happened? Was that flash from Gambit? Yeah, it must have been, I guess. Didn't even see the tracer then, so I'm really confused about what's happening there. Smoke goes up, and Hazed will try and creep on through, but not really going to be successful, which means it's just Cutler left. Deagle in hand, and maybe a little bit too aggressive coming up the stairwell will give a third UMP kill for Doja, so he's going to be happy about that. 3-0 for Gambit, and they are off to a fantastic start. We'll see if CLG can turn it around here, as Kusta does pick up the AWP.
No surprise there. He's going to be that primary opera for CLG. We also see Mo going straight to the AWP, so he isn't wasting any time. And he's got 4 kills so far, so Mo's, he's probably feeling it pretty warmed up. He's going to look for that gap shot here. He doesn't really have a long spawn, so it'd be a bit silly for him to go over there. Instead, yeah, just get in position, see if he can get the info. And he does get the timing perfectly spot on. Tags Hazed for 50 through the door. So a wallbang shot, but still. He's not going to be able to confirm that 100% to his teammates, obviously. But Kusta, he finds Doja over at long. Was that right through the smoke? It looks like the smoke was up when he took the shot.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if Doja was trying to shoot through. It sounded like, it's a faint fire of AK in the horizon. So I think maybe Doja was trying to sort of get a shot through, and that might have revealed his position. So a quick trade. It's a bit of a shame for CLG that Tarek went down in return. That was Space picking up that kill. So still a 4-on-4 here. This time, again, they're holding, except for in the B-bomb side, Kusta and Peter have very little chance to work together. There is a difference, which is that Kusta's on the corner here instead of on the bomb site. So with a bit of luck, he can just get a kill and fall back. And that would be a really good move here. We'll see if he's going to be successful. Grenades are raining in. He's got still the angle for it. They're jumping down, but that's a good kill. Actually, the bomb is now dropped up there. He wasn't expecting Space, though. And that's going to be 3-on-3 now, with the bomb about to be planted in the A-bomb site.
Yeah, that's so frustrating for Kusta, because he's just it's that lack of information. Basically, it's like split second off. He doesn't spot the man dropping into CT, so he doesn't expect. He thinks that he picked off the first guy, and that's it, job done. He'll go over and support his mate on long. Instead, it's going to be Peta, Hazed, and, well, Cutler, the last 3 alive in a 3-on-3 retake on the A site. Adrian peeks out at the perfect time to pick off one. And he's now in a 1v2 clutch scenario. He's going to get the first kill. Looks for the second, but it's not going to happen. Peta's there with the USP long range to find that one. And he's going to have enough time with the kit to get the defuse. So CLG, they actually get that retake to work, despite the bumpy start.
Yeah, that's why I was advocating that same play in the pistol round. Retaking A, yeah, there's a shot coming through, good replay. It's because retaking A 3v3 or 4v4 is perfectly reasonable. It's you can definitely do that, and CLG just showing us that that's the case. So 5th round is coming up here. The only issue is only one member surviving. So if they lose now, they might be thrown into a sort of a double eco here, and that would be fairly painful, I think. A bit of a close spawn for long, it seems. Space charging around the corner right into a Molotov, but CLG actually allowing him to get out, and that's going to be a quick kill here. Kusta still playing on the corner.
Oof, that nade looked like it was going to just land right at his feet. He only takes 8 damage, though, and he's going to get that kill onto Space. Good patience there for Kusta, and nobody there to support Space from Gambit. With that smoke up, they didn't decide to actually get out there and take a fight for him, or even flash for him, give him any kind of help at all. Instead, it was just Space kind of crossing his fingers and hoping he could get out of there on his own. Not the best team play coming in here from Gambit, unfortunately. So we're back into a 4-on-4. And it does look like it's going to be action long here again. Gambit setting up with 3 players in-house, but they decide to back off.
Where's the rifle? Look at Tarek. It looked like he was looking for whatever rifle Peter had there. Did it somehow go missing? That's very confusing.
Awkward. That actually cost him a smoking $300 to get that AK as well. That's not ideal.
No, but at least he's got it. The only problem is this B push that's coming in, there's not going to be any backup. Kusta and Tarek are miles away, so I was going to say Cutler and Hayes need to do it all on their own, but now it's just Hayes. And he did get the first kill, couldn't get the second, and he needed it. Kusta getting a crucial shot in on Hooch that still keeps them in the round. It won't be easy doing this 2v2, but it's possible. Flick coming out there, and Doja, they know at least he's on the left side. They knew that he was for a moment there. Tarek running into Mo in upper dark.
And now he's going to actually, not even going to be able to put anything into play there. The problem is that he had the utility as well for this retake to actually happen. A flash and an incendiary lost just like that. So it's one part of the flank, but it's also anything that could have really helped Kusta have an impact, trying to move on to the site. So Kusta, I mean, it's exactly what you described at the beginning of the round, Anders. They get into the fight, they lose it, and now, well, he has to back off and hold on to the AWP because his team is going to be broke. It's going to be an awkward situation for CLG when it comes to the money. It's like a double eco scenario, just staring them in the face. That's definitely not what you want here versus Gambit.
No, a really, really big problem for them right here already. And I mean, the problem is with they keep setting up CLG, because they're not being very proactive, they're being extremely defensive, in fact. Whenever they lose a guy, they have to essentially have these positions where they can never back each other up. There's been almost no mid-control for CLG all throughout, which means if Gambit get that part of the map, then, neither A or B can help out the other side, and that's a big problem. Kusta being a bit aggressive here, and I love that. He's got the only AWP, so why not try and be a hero?
There we go, that's a worthy trade. Not sure if he spotted the man jumping in T-spawn, but that's going to be an opening for Mo, who spots out on Cutler. Hayes is going to go for the confirmation, taking some decent fights, and he actually finds the kill on Space somehow. He's just too quick with that pistol. They can't seem to find the shot on him, or if they do, it's a wallbang, so he survives. He's on 27 HP, he's picked up a kill, and Gambit decide enough is enough. We shouldn't actually need to commit in here. They're just so set on getting rid of Hazed, and Hazed, he's just dancing right on the edge of the flames, going to go for another spot. But now counter logic, they actually have to start spreading out back across the map. They can't fully stack onto the B site. They haven't actually seen anybody recommit to this B take from Gambit, and so now that leaves it to Peta, who's actually made his way all the way out to long. He isn't seeing anybody coming, and they're just so hard to kill right now. How does Kusta survive that?
I don't know, but why did he take the jump to begin with? That seemed like such a big risk to try and do. Almost headshots his teammate then. And Kusta is in the back line, but they know, they have confirmation the AWP's there, and that's why I didn't want him to jump, because better to keep it a secret, to keep it hidden. Peta could change the outcome here if he takes this fight, but he doesn't win it against Hooch, and that would have been the big moment there. That would have kept control along. Now they are just going to end up losing every single member here. Kusta, the last one left, hiding and saving the AWP, but they know that, and Adrian going to pick up that kill, making it to 3 overall. And that round, and a total scoreline of 5-1 favoring Gambit here.
We could just be witnessing like the takeoff, right? Because Gambit, now they don't even have to worry about an AWP being in the fight. They knew that they were running into an eco last round. All they had to do was dodge the op, or at least minimize its impact. They did a pretty good job of that. Kusta not really able to get anything going. And in this round, it's nothing but pistols. So Gambit, they can play it safe. They can take their time. They do look like they're spreading out into a default hold here on their T side to start in this round, right? So they're just going to be holding out all 5 points, waiting to just see what do CLG have for them. Once again, that HE goes down to block off mid, and so Mo, he's not going to be able to spot rifles. He's not going to be able to communicate that info over to his teammates. He doesn't know what the B defense have to work with, and so Gambit just sit. They're just going to sit and feel things out.
We do have to mention that what we've seen at Gambit in the last week or so, they have been significantly better on the T side than they ever were on their CT side. Their CT sides appear to need a lot of work, so that's maybe the one saving grace here for CLG. But it's still a very strong start.
Well, Hooch leads the way, picks up one. Trenny's looking for the shot onto Hayes. He's just tapping away, not going to find the kill, and he just can't seem to get the wall bang either. Somehow Hayes survives. This guy, last round on B site too, just survived forever. And I think that Spade's getting shot by a teammate. Pretty sure that he just got shot down to 40 HP from a teammate. Calm down, guys. You got control of the situation. It's looking good. You got out onto that A side again. You got the bomb down. And you know that you're facing pistols. And, well, Hayes just finally goes down. It's actually an HE, They can't seem to hit shots on him, so what do? They just fill the area around him with shrapnel. Try and dodge that, right? It's not going to happen.
Doja gonna end up taking out Cuddler, so that will be the round 6-1. And finally, CLG can buy again. And this is actually, it is a bit harsh because they do go for the double eco, and yet their buy into this round, they do actually go for the double AWP as well. I was gonna say they will be lacking some grenades. They do have some, but you can tell there's no kit either. So they are sort of going all in on the idea that the defense will finally work here.
This just makes sense, right? This just makes sense because you put one on Hazed. Mu is so consistent so far, just hitting these shots. Another shot onto Hayes, drops him low. It's going to be aggression early on, and we'll see if Spaze actually has a teammate to help him out this time. Hooch setting up some flashes, and Hayes is actually going to be able to peek, and he loses the fight versus Peta. Hooch is there to trade the kill and bring it back to a 4-on-4, though. Solid play this time around. Gambit actually working together as a unit on A instead of just kind of like feeding a teammate in there for nothing.
But again, CLG without the mid control, I can't remember any round where they've had a guy in CT spawn. They've had Kusta sort of looking in there from the A side of the map, but that's normally not enough. Hayes will be going down as well inside of B, and Cutler. This would have to be a heroic performance. Almost impossible to hold B alone in a 1-on-4 like this. And he's even been spotted, they're coming for him, and he only gets the one kill in, and you couldn't expect much more than that. And Peter and Tarek just gonna make that out. There's no point in fighting this. Again, CLG just unable, it seems, to really grasp the power of having mid-control on this map.
Yeah, I mean, we see that setup sometimes, where it's the 3 players holding, and that is kind of the game plan here for CLG. They're wanting to counter Gambit early at long, and that seems to be it. You know, like Gambit have gone long a few times with Space. We've seen it happen 3 times now, I think, where they charge out on long, put Space there, put a bit of a fight up, and so CLG are trying to counter that. They just aren't prepared for this very quick take of mid from Gambit. They were not expecting them to try and actually get out that presence through mid. So we'll see if they adjust CLG in the next round. They need to hold on to the rifles though to do it. Tarek, you have to survive.
Oh, well, Peter helping out a little bit there. Good shot, and still a 7-1 scoreline. I mean, I'm fine with having 3 people on long, but what most people will do is they'll sort of go there and quick, and if there's a fight, then they'll try and win that fight, and if not, then they fall back quick and usually into at least one person going to CT spawn. I feel like that CT spawn player is lacking a lot right now for CLG. It's creating a huge gap in the defense that Gambit just keep exploiting.
Well, this is a way to change things up. Aggressive boost here. Costa gonna spot the man jumping. That's Mo survives on 4 HP. Costa hits the shot through the box. So it's wallbang damage. And well, this time around, again, Gambit just gonna put Spaze out on long immediately, not waste any time at all. The bomb is there as well. And so now Gambit, they have a chance to kind of crunch onto the defense here for the A site, now that they actually have long control, and they have all 4 players there actually. So it's more of a straightforward approach here coming in from Gambit. They're like, right, if you're going to hold on to Cat, we're going to get control on the other part of the on the other side of the map.
Hooch, I think actually peeking for Mo there, but he was a little bit slow to come out. So an easy shot happening. Kusta could have very nearly been a double kill for him. He's got Mo down there. It's a bit of a fight going on, a bit of a patience battle. Flashbang comes out, and Costa, look at him taking his time. That is exactly the kind of mentality that made Costa a big talking point to begin with. That's what you want to see. That's a really important trait for a player to have. Tarek not being able to follow up on Adrian. That should have probably been a kill, and somehow we're in a 3-on-3.
And Adrian's already watching mid for that rotate to come through. Upper Dark is, Cutler has control of Upper Dark at this point. Costa hits the flick. He actually rotates in time to spot out Spaze. That drops the bomb. And with 30 seconds left now, that doesn't leave a whole lot of time here for Gambit to make something happen. Kusta can fall into pit. He knows that they've lost control of Catwalk. That's fine because Kusta's now got the angle onto the site. He's got the angle onto CT as well. And this could be his hero round. A 4th kill for Kusta. And now it's all on Adrian. He's been spotted as well. Kusta has no idea that he's been legged already, but he doesn't. It's not necessary. The ace for Kusta. He single-handedly shuts down Gambit on the A site. And well, that's the attention necessary. I mean, that's why we were looking at him. He's the one who's going to make the difference here for CLG.
What a big round coming out. And I mean, the story of Kusta has really been a weird one, hasn't it? Because I feel like he was sort of built up to be the savior of North American Counter-Strike before he was even on a good team. And then when he got picked up, there's always been that question of whether or not he was sort of fully utilized. And I think maybe the pressure got to him as well. Now he's sort of made it in somewhere in between on a weird CLG lineup. So we'll see how that works. It could certainly, and I think a couple of people have already been theorizing that it could give him the space to come into his own a bit more and maybe rediscover his game.
I think that's the main thing. I mean, Thorn has also made the point in the past, though, where it could also be the end of him, right? If there was so much pressure on him on Liquid, if he shows up on CLG where he should be, the key player, and he can't deliver here, then where else can he go, right? Like, this might be the end of the line for Kusta. So there is a lot riding on him to come through here for CLG, and on an individual level and also on a team level.
No, I agree. I definitely agree. Tarek is playing in CT spawn. That makes me happy. Although, tragically, looks like this might be one of the rounds where that is not needed. It doesn't mean the position is bad, but, you can't always be right. Smoke is going to go down there. Peter buying some more time, and they are kind of out of grenades, so if Tarek could come over here, and he actually is rotating back. So right now, this is looking like a really good setup coming out of CLG. If Kusta can stay alive, that is, Peter's going to have a hard time living. The best he could do is probably trade, but Kusta's coming in to help out on the corner. Now they might actually have a real defense here. Smoke goes up. Kusta boosting himself up on that little ledge, and Peter, close line, just for a quick trade there. Kusta going to be going down. Now Tarek, can he buy the time? He has got the Molotov still.
Oh, he's at Gandalf, but he's been spotted. Adrian not going to win the duel, however, and so he's still alive on this site. He knows that if he peeks into that angle, though, Mo is going to be holding from Plateau with the AWP. Cutler peeks at the same time, opens up the space, but Tarek's been spotted. Not going to matter, though. Cutler and Hayes there to get 2 kills, and it's down to Mo with 15 seconds left on this clock. Now getting down to 10 seconds, and he needs to pick up the bomb. Remember, it's in CT, it's in the smoke. It's costing him valuable time, and that ends up costing him the round. The fact that he has to run in there, pick up that bomb, it just opens it up for Hayes to shoot him in the back with the P250. And, well, that's a second round, well, a third round total, but a second round in a row here for CLG.
I swear that fist bump didn't work out too well between Kusta and Tarek. There was something that they almost missed it. It was real close. But the round did work out. Maybe we'll get a replay of that. I'd love to see that in slow motion. 7-3 being the scoreline here. And CLG are starting to creep back into this game. The money must be a little bit low for Gambit as well. This is not over yet. Again, I think Gambit's CT sides have not been impressive so far. And this is Dust2. It could go either way. Kusta coming in with one more kill. He spots a couple of people in lower dark, and they're going to throw a grenade in there. CLG are definitely still in this game.
I feel like it's Kusta's, dream now, basically, where he's just like, let me scrim, let me scrim. He's singing it to his teammates. It's like, let me scrim, let me go aggressive, let me go for the peaks and the picks and manage to actually create something. Unfortunately, this time, it doesn't work for him. Doe's just holding the angle that he just got flashed into, just pulls the trigger with the AWP, and Kusta is down, but he still picked up 1 kill, and he is still keeping Gambit wary of that catwalk area in mid, because that's the second time now that he's defeated Mo over there, or at least first time he got the tag on Mo, this time he got the kill, but he's definitely keeping Gambit in check in mid. So we need more of that from Kusta. Now it's up to his teammates, though. It can't all be about Kusta. His teammates have got to do some work as well.
And again, no mid presence at all. And Tarek is hard on the bomb side. Now, Peter's rotating in. At least they're committing to one sort of spot here. They got some chance to help each other out. So there is that going into it. But jumping down into CT spawn, and now it's again Cutler and Hayes in that B bomb side having to do almost all of the work right now. They smoke off one doorway there, but there's still the window. A lot of positions to cover, and Doja here with the AWP trying to see if he can maybe find an angle, but that's a great defense being set up. Hayes, triple kill for him. Not the person I would normally expect to step up big with the AWP, but that's a solid round coming out of Hayes, making it 4-7.
He's the one closest. Obviously with the triple kill, puts him up to 8 kills now. He's right behind Kusta, who has 11. The rest of his teammates, still trying to catch up. But yeah, well, there was a time when it was this weird sort of situation where CLG would win if Hazed was hitting shots, right? And if Hazed wasn't, then CLG would lose, right? It was this weird sort of situation where Hazed actually became key for CLG to pick up rounds and pick up maps. If we have that Hazed plus the Kusta, maybe there's a chance here for the North American lineup.
Yeah, I never know where to put Hazed as a player. He's such a nice guy. I'm not sure he has enough of a killer instinct. That's what always worries me. But this time he's doing fairly well. So is Tarek here, picking up a couple of eco frags. Peter stealing some of them, actually most of them there. But that will make it 5-7. This is now a very open game, I would say. If CLG can win even 2 more rounds, then I think Gambit will have thrown away a pretty big lead, and that's rough 4 in a row right now for CLG. Very impressive.
Did it in the past, Gambit. Well, in the past, at least we've seen them play on land last week, basically, and they definitely did not look too solid on their CT side. So it's of the utmost importance that they actually lock down some T rounds and get a head start. So far they've maintained it. If they can actually, end it here, that would be beautiful, but it's not going to happen. Hazed is going to catch Moo being patient over in T-spawn, waits it out, gets the pick, and there's the man advantage for CLG, and they're even keeping aggressive. Pita, he's in lower dark. Not sure if he's been spotted, though. They're going to come looking for him. Spaze gets the kill, but Kusta's there to trade.
And Hazed a little bit too close there. If he'd had a rifle, for sure Spaze would have been gone, so a lot of confidence, and maybe it backfired a little bit here. They still have a pretty good position. They've lost a couple of rifles here, but they're in a 3-on-3, and because Spaze is so low on health, it won't be easy for Gambit to pick up a round behind this. Also, the positioning right now. Tarek close on catwalk. If he sees someone, he doesn't have to fight them. He can just sort of acknowledge that someone is there and maybe try and fall back. And Kusta could go wherever he wants right now. They can even go and help out Cutler. So they finally got a position where there's actually a rotation possible on the CT side. What a great way to continue.
Oh, he's going to catch him looking the wrong way. Double spray for Tarek. He's going to get caught by Hooch. But Tarek, he does the damage. 2 kills for him. And now it's going to be... Well, Kusta can rotate over fairly quickly. He's on CT slope, but he's got his teammate Cutler making his way towards B slope. And now Hooch seems like he wants to actually get out here in the middle, and he's going to walk right into that waiting AWP. Kusta with an excellent read on the situation. Realizes that they were still vulnerable. They just set up perfectly for Hooch to walk right into him. So that crossfire, it works. 6-7 now. Counterlogic Gaming 1 round away from tying it up, and it's looking fairly good. Not the best economy for Gambit, and it looks like Gambit are willing to go for the half buy. It's all about that 15th round now, whether it's going to end... Well, there's still a chance, even with the half buy on Dust2, to actually make a rush work with the Tech 9s.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely can. Hooch is going to be running towards mid, I guess, and the rest running over at the B bomb side. If they just ran in right now, Cutler, they did just put up the Molotov there, so that's important. It's always a risk to not do that. Peter again had it behind this box, and they are going to check it, but not as well as last time, and he ends up trading 2 for 1. Spaze will take him out.
Spaze always seems to be the one. Whoa, okay, then Hazed.
Grenade into AWP shot.
Wallbang flick as well, just deadly, and Hazed. He nearly gets the timing right to get the pick onto Adrian, who's dancing around in lower dark. Gonna be able to sneak his way through, but he doesn't realize that Tarek has already pushed out from Longhouse to top mid, and Hazed with the final kill of the round. They're starting to warm up here, CLG. 7-7 now, tied up going into the 15th round, the last round of this first half. And, well, I mean, double op, just maintain. CLG is working so far, just maintain. All the pressure is now shifted over to Gambit to come out ahead in this first half. This is still a bit, fairly T-sided map, rather. So Gambit, we expect like a 9-6 out of them. 8-7 is cutting it a bit close. And if CLG come out ahead, 8-7, definitely not going to be liking the odds for Gambit.
No, that would make it a bit rough, wouldn't it? Mo trying to force a peek there, but he does get legged, and Hazed picks up Adrian, so... What a great start for CLG. Just taking that mid-fight head-on as well is not easy when you're on the CT side, but they make it work. They're going to allow Hooch to get out, and Peter's there waiting. This really seems to be finally clicking for the CLG team. They are looking to pick up just another round here. So far, winning 6 in a row and looking for a 7th round. What a fantastic streak.
Yeah, what a turnaround. And what a collapse for Gambit. They had everything going for them, and then just CLG started to wake up. They got that double op into play. And ever since they've actually had the money to afford it, it's been looking fantastic here for CLG. They're going to lead the way with Moo, who's been hitting some shots so far in this first half. Kind of dropped off, obviously, during the CLG streak, but before then, Mo was the driving force. He's got that AWP again, and this time Cutler is not going to fall. It's not all on Hazed. Hazed and Cutler both alive. Cutler gets flashed, though, and that opens it up. Doja drops him on the slope, and now it's again all on Hazed with the no-scope on it. Doja hits the shot, but Spaze is there to trade. Still a man advantage going into the retake here for CLG.
Right, so I think Gambit are probably going to have to take a big risk here. I can't see them just holding on the side and winning the round. They need some sort of trick, and they're actually all out of grenades. I was going to say put Space up in the window and flash him out to take a peek, take a fight. They can't even do that. They actually have to stay right now. There is a Molotov on Tarek, so if Mo misses a shot, he might be out of this round just because of that Molotov. Space has a lot of work to do still. There's Scurry coming in first of all. Space, they line up for him, and he gets one kill. Mo with the other one, and that's going to be the round. Triple kill for Space, finishing the half at 8-7, and again and again and again. I've just got to point out that mid-control for CLG lacking, I think, maybe 2 rounds maybe out of 15 where they had someone in CT spawn. That is absolutely atrocious. We'll see how it goes when we get back into the second half here at CLG and Gambit. Stay with us. second half here, we got CLG and Gambit playing in a best-of-1 on Dust2, and it was such a great start for Gambit. You see it here. They're up 5-1, but then suddenly Kusta ends up getting an ace, and Hazed, as you can tell here, with an absolutely great B-hold coming out, and we finished the half at 8-7, slightly favoring Gambit, but overall I think CLG showed a bit more than I was expecting.
I think everybody, I mean, it was pretty clear across the desk. I mean, for us as well, predictions going into this match, Gambit should be able to take it. They should be able to just kind of crush through CLG. CLG haven't really shown us anything to get behind in the past months, and so it's just like, right, you kind of expect Gambit, who have had a little bit more LAN exposure recently, to get the job done and just kind of crush them out on Dust2. We're just seeing where Gambit are a little bit shaky on the map, it seems.
Also impressive, I think, for CLGs who are doing this well, when you forget about a whole part of the map, when you don't even realize that you can hold the middle with human beings from your own team.
Right.
That's impressive, because they were really just holding A, long, and B, and just 2 rounds maybe out of 15 that they decided to have someone in CT spawn, which I would venture to say you won't see much for the rest of this major tournament. I think every time we see Dust2, we're going to see a lot more rounds where there's someone in CT spawn. We'll see how this goes. Now Gambit are on the CT side. They have the kit, and they have a couple of flashbangs here. CLG, all armor except for Hazed.
Yeah, Hayes actually going to be taking the hit. He's going to have the smoke grenade to start things off, and well, it is not really necessary. It's just a straight rush onto the B site coming through. They do trade, but Adrian with a push up to top mid is going to take down Tarek. And so that kind of ruins things here for CLG. They will be able to get out onto the B site, but Doja's already here. 3 players on B slope actually for Gambit. And so as soon as that bomb goes down, they could even try and just get in there to take the fight. The smoke is going to go down, blocking off the B slope doors, but Gambit are in position to try and pounce on this. They're going to go for that 2-man on B slope, 2-man in upper dark, kind of split onto the site and hope to crush the defense.
Bit of a tough defense actually coming out here for CLG. They're a man down and they don't have any equipment at all, but good shot from Adrian, taking down Hayes. Now, Peter and Kusta, they've got more to do, and they're going to go aggressive, and that's such a smart move. Very intelligent Counter-Strike coming out. That's exactly what they had to do. Now we're talking a 2-on-2. They're holding outside, and Adrian, he wants to push him. Kusta's holding behind. They're reading it so well. What a round coming out. Peter with the triple, Kusta with the double, and this is one you should take note of. Just put a little mental note in your mind. Go back and watch this round, because that's exactly how you want to play Counter-Strike. If they had stayed in the bomb side, I guarantee you 100% of the time they would lose that. 2-on-4 when you're being sandwiched in, it is not going to work. You have to just essentially man up and go and get that fight outside of the bomb side. That's so smart play.
Well, that's exactly it. It's your only chance. You're going to get crushed if you stay put, so look for the fight. You see it actually become a part of the standard hold as well. When the B split actually comes in, the guys who play B, they'll try and challenge upper dark. They'll try and look for the weakness in the push. And this time around, CLG, they actually get it to break their way. So Gambit, they got robbed. And once again, well, both teams picking up a pistol round. So they've all got, I mean, it's basically even, equal going forward from here. 8-8, it's tied up, but already Mo, he had a strong start to the first half, kind of dropped off a little bit towards the end of the first half. At least here he's able to get something done. He gets that scout into play, starts things off strong for Gambit in the 17th.
Gambit going for a bit of a stack up over long. Adrian, Doja, and Mo up there. So I like the double scout in play from Gambit. I think actually that's an underutilized strat on Dust2, especially on Dust2, is something that you could do. I would even argue you could get 3 scouts if you had the money for it. I don't think that would be a waste on Dust2.
There's just so many long angles. I mean, look, the way that they've set it up now, Mo's playing at car. This is usually where you'll have your AWP. Now, at the scout, that works out fine because he can, if the smoke goes down, he can try and jump over the smoke, still be accurate, turns away for the flash, or at least he's expecting one. It's going to be a bit of a delayed flash. No flash at all. And so now he actually gets to just hang out around here, spots the man in the smoke, and Tarek actually catches him off guard.
Wow, what a shame. Looked like there was a big opening there. Nice accuracy coming out from Doja, taking Cutler down to 13 health, but still a good round here for CLG so far, at least. Got to be a bit careful now, as 2 of their members are quite low on health here, and actually they're dropping everyone, it seems. Oh no, they're going to get overrun, and an absolute roar erupts from Gambit. I could hear that all the way up here. Again, they're on a different floor from us. They're 1 floor down, and a little bit sort of isolated down there, and still you could hear the excitement. 9-8, and they are going to be moving into the 18th round here. That's such a big win for Gambit, even if it was a bad start.
That's huge. First time now we're going to see that second round win coming through for the team that was ecoing. or force buying in Gambit's case, right? They are a team that will go for the Kevlars. You guys saw the double scout, and it works. They actually managed to build off of that. And so, well, what are you going to do if you're CLG? You're the ones who have to go for the pistols. They aren't actually going to try and turn this into a brawl either. Some teams would go for the force buy behind this, go for Tech 9 armor, try and rush out onto a site. Instead, CLG, they're going to be counting on the 19th round. So it almost just follows the regular pattern here, as if they had lost the pistol. Now they're just going to go for a round of eco, and they'll try and buy in the next one. No smokes, no flashes, nothing to really help them get that bomb plant happening, though. So that's a little frustrating here for CLG. They're going to have to look for some headshots.
Mo deciding, since the scout wasn't really working for him, the grenade will do 88 damage in one grenade there. So that's going to be a bit annoying for Cutler. And then Hooch coming in to clean up what was left. So overall, fairly comfortable round coming out of out of Gambit. And they're not really taking many risks either, it seems. They're just going to be playing it safe behind those doors.
Yeah, they're just saying, you know, come and look for the, you want to fight? You're going to have to do it through a choke point. Hazed and Peta, though, both with deagles, both finding headshots. Doja will drop Hazed. Finally, Doja getting into the fight. He pushed out from Longhouse. They realized exactly where the remaining CLG players were. So now Doja's the one to save the day here. He drops Peta down to 6 HP. And Peta, at this point, is just content to sit and wait. Somehow survives that HE grenade with 3 HP.
It is getting pretty close right now.
This is a little silly.
Obviously, just hoping for the one deeg to come in somewhere. And again, any kill here is definitely going to help them out so much, but eventually they should be able to find him. And they've got the bomb in there, so they don't really need to go anywhere. There's the round, but it became more expensive than it needed to be. It's going to help out CLG later on, as they can actually go into a buy in this round. So good job there. 8-10 though. And we'll see if Gambit can play the CT side. That's what I'm really curious about.
Exactly. I mean, now Mo, he was, you know, if he has that AWP, he can continue to try and do some damage here on that CT side, right? Depends on where they want to put him. It looks like he's going to go for the fight in mid. But it's 4 rifles backing him up, and we'll see if it's going to be a key part of their game plan to go for the double AWP. It's always an option here for Gambit. So CLG, instead of actually going aggressive, trying to go for a rush anywhere, they're just going for a default kind of hold. Hazed is going to get tagged, though. And that was at top mid, so Mo, it does work out that he is challenging mid. He eventually gets some damage in there. But this is basically where everything stabilizes now for both of these teams. Both of them, you know, fall into defaults or sort of scenarios here.
Right, and just to point out again, already Gambit off with the mid control, right? They got Mo, they got Hooch in here, so Space alone in B, but not so much alone, not more than they can just rotate a couple of members in there to help out. Nice shot for Mo coming out. Hazed caught trying to dance on the edge there, and that's going to be 4-on-4 here. As Tarek did get a kill in return.
Hooch is close enough to hear the footsteps on catwalk, so he's going to be communicating that to his teammate. That's Adrian holding up on the site itself. But now that they start walking, this is where Hooch starts to wonder, okay, what is the play? 50 seconds left on this clock, meaning that CLG, they still have some options. They can still change things up and try and go back to B or try to pressure in mid, which is why Hooch puts that smoke up, wants to try and buy as much time as possible here before CLG actually have to commit to a site. 40 seconds left. And with everybody here for pretty much on catwalk for CLG, apart from the man holding in mid, it is looking like this will eventually turn into an A hit here for CLG. They have the smokes necessary. They even have a flash to force Doja off of the angle at Cars. But that's not necessary. Adrian's going to catch Tarek mid-air, and there's Doja stepping in, drops Kusta. Peta will be able to bring it back, but they've taken so much damage now for CLG that it's really not looking too hot for him.
No, there's no way out of this round, it seems. Peta, the last man left, actually somehow hits that headshot. He should have been dead, and now he could really do this. Space has got no grenades except that flashbang to try and get in here. Peta needs a headshot, and he needs it quick. He's got the double kill. He's going to peek up behind the box. He sees Space. He's out of the open. He's got no cover, and he's charging in. Peta trying to play this one smart. He gets the kill, but not quite. Oh, that's so close. He hit him once, and a couple of more bullets would have done it, but Space going to get him in return, and that's going to be another round here for Gambit. Wow, that was close. 11-8 now in favor of Gambit. And CLG, they got the bomb planted. They got more out of that round than they should have, it seemed.
Yeah, I mean, now it's not a double eco that they're staring down. They can go for the half buy. You can see Kusta going to commit to it. No reason to go for the force. They're just going to kind of meet halfway and just decide in the next round, the 21st, to go for the full. Gambit, though, that's just where you kind of like wipe the sweat off your brow. It came way too close that I'm losing it. Another clutch. They're fairly even on clutches so far between both of these teams. So, I mean, Kusta with the ace, Gambit with the eco round win. I mean, So it's just like, it's so even right now. It's really hard to call which team is going to take control because right now, both of them are pretty much dead even.
CLG's economy, though, could be a big factor, and they're doing a lot to make up for it right now. Adrian out of the open, but he does get 2 really good kills, and they're trying to run him down. Tarek has even stolen that AWP, and now he's locked in, scoped up on that smoke. He wants someone to come through. They're going to throw a couple of... Well, actually, just another smoke there. No flashbang, it seemed. Tarek missing a shot. Still a very expensive round. Bomb plant plus 3 kills. Definitely a big win for CLG in this one round.
Yeesh. That is just so nasty, and well, that's exactly how it's supposed to work for CLG. They're supposed to be able to get up onto the side of the Tech-9s, just run their opponents down, get in their opponent's face. Adrian made it close. He made it possible for Gambit to survive, because if Adrian goes down without the 2 kills, that's pretty much it. It's over for Gambit, and they lose to an eco round basically coming in from CLG, which would be horrendous. Which would actually balance things out between both of them, but regardless, you're right. CLG, they get the bomb plant, they get the bonus money. Kusta's got the op, and he's got the spawn for long. And so now, I mean, Gambit have been setting up that long control early on. We have to see, can Kusta get the timing right? He's a little bit late, and Mo's going to win the duel. No element of surprise there for Kusta.
Not at all, and also, peek that's really hard to do like that. I wonder why people started going away from the sort of jumping into the angle instead of crouching into it. Because that was popular right after the AWP change, but then it sort of went away again. Space with a good spray here as CLG are looking to get onto the B bomb site, and they're going to make the opening happen at least. So now it's a 2-1-2. Hayes is in there and putting down the bomb, and he might have to do a lot of work. Peter, though, look how aggressive he's being. Again, this is... I mean, Peter's not like the superstar, but this is intelligent play coming out. He's playing tactically a very smart game, probably to try and make up for the fact that I'm assuming his aim won't be as good as the rest, and Hayes also going for it. Very good job there. CLG just absolutely outplaying Gambit in that round. It's interesting.
It's just that's where Mo, you could see Mo. I mean, every time, almost every time that you run up into Upper Dark like that, you're expecting the terrorists to hold right outside of the tunnel onto the B side itself. So for Mo, you just kind of throw it in there to spice things up. Mo literally catches Mo, rather Peter catches Mo with his knife out because Mo is expecting, right, I've got another split second, then I'll swap to my AK, I'll pre-aim that angle that I expect the guy to be holding at. Unfortunately, sometimes that's just the way it works. Kusta is going to spot both players making their way over towards that B site, however. So now at least CLG have an accurate read on the situation. They know that 2 went across. They don't know if there's a 3rd in mid. Instead, that's going to be a man holding on catwalk. But now they know that this might be an eco round just because Space goes for a bit of the shot with the P250 there.
Yes, and a small detail that was happening there is Hooch was shooting from behind, hit Space. And that's a fake that people throw out sometimes. That's an audio fake, right? So if you're on the T side, you're hearing shots coming through, you're thinking that's probably someone who's on the plateau just shooting for fun, right? Your immediate thought won't be, oh, there's someone right on that corner who's going to be waiting for me. So it's just a small trick, and it's kind of cool to see it work. You know, used. It should probably be used more, I think. That's 9-12 as a scoreline. And just to point out, Peter is top fragging. He's got 17 kills right now, doing the best on CLG.
I like how you say, you know, teamwork should be something we see more often. And
yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah, and
blowing my mind here.
Revolutionary idea. But sometimes the individual stuff works as well. Hayes coming in with a good double return. He's, by the way, now probably top of the score, but I think with 18 kills. So really, really impressed. I don't know where Hayes is pulling all of this out from, but it seems to be working quite well now. Very aggressive move coming out to try and catch him there. Hooch also with a smart play.
Seems like they're going to commit to this A site. A little bit of a problem, though. All 3 members are here for Gambit. Eventually, Tarek will find the shot on Hooch. Spaze gets taken out by Hayes, who stacks up yet another kill, and a quad kill for Hayes in the end. And so you're right, you know, you cursed Peter, man. It was like that feel-good moment for Peter. He was like, yeah, I'm at the top. I'm in the lead. And then Hayes was like, we can't allow our Swedish in-game leader to take the lead on this team. Hayes, he's going to get the job done. Does he have the man bun still? I don't even know. I actually haven't even noticed if he's got the man bun still.
I don't think so. I swear it looked like he was a little bit fresher.
He's done away with the man bun.
Yeah. One of, not that it's relevant to the game right now, but one of the nicest people that's in the Counter-Strike scene. He's definitely a good guy. Oh, again.
Carbon copy. Like literally like the same thing. He misses that bunny hop, basically. Kusta, it actually cost him because he could eject himself in there. If he hits that bunny hop just right, he like ejects himself towards the door. Instead, he just kind of like plops down, and then Mo's just like, eh. Mouse one.
Yeah, there are so many things I don't like about that peak. The crouching also means that your model is going to be a little bit wider. You know, if you were just standing up and sort of trying to peek into it, maybe, again, if you try to jump into the angle, maybe you could catch him off guard. even better, just smoke it off and do what people on Reddit seem to be doing all the time, which is just learning that one angle you can shoot at. That's so ridiculous. Just walk in with a shot. I've seen so many people doing that recently. That's going to make it 4 versus 5 here, and we are past the minute mark. And so there is no real mid control, and there is an opening for a mid split here that could actually work out massively for CLG. That would be such a sick call if that happens, and indeed that is what's happening. Peter even making it better, taking out Space, and Hooch, he drops the bomb. They know what's happening. They need a quick rotation. He's in so much trouble, and he's going to end up going down. CLG on a sort of just on a tactical level right now here on the CT side. They're doing so much work. It's incredible.
Now take your time, guys. You can see them getting a little excited with their nades. Got to hold on to the nades, don't waste them. One of those incendiaries goes down a block off window, bomb gets planted, default sort of spot as well. My one concern is that if Gambit actually had a Molotov, putting everybody on plateau like this would make it real hairy for CLG. But CLG making good use of their nades so far to buy more time. Tarek even has a flash left, and now it's going to get rough here for Gambit. They catch Tarek peeking, though. That's the flash down, and Dren's going to start things off, and that's the man advantage, but Peter brings it back with the wallbang shot. Eventually, Doja and Boo, though, they split onto the site, one from window, one from doors, and it's just too much for Peter to handle with that AWP, obviously. He's got one shot. Unfortunately, they're not going to, like, be gentlemen about it, like, line up for him, and he gets, you know, 2 for 1. Doesn't usually work that way.
What an impressive retake from Gambit. We've got to give them a lot of credit. That's very hard to do. And again, you sort of pointed it out, Terry getting picked off. Also, it's very obvious in that retake that CLG didn't know that Gambit were not putting anyone from upper. Because if they were, they would have held very different positions, right? And they would have probably had someone in upper dark that could have bought time at the end, right? So there were a lot of weird things that happened in the retake, but Gambit comes out on top, and it puts this game essentially on a knife's edge. Neither team has any money to buy, so whoever loses is going to be ecoing. And Hooch playing very aggressive.
Some good communication here for CLG, though. Kusta was spotting mid. He spotted 3 players cross over towards the B site. Instantly, his teammates Tarek and Cutler stop in their tracks at T-spawn. They don't even go into Upper Dark. They're like, right, there's a real risk of us getting caught, and it's exactly what Gambit go for. 3 guys push into Upper Dark, looking to catch somebody out from CLG. CLG 1 step ahead, and that's all off the information coming in from Kusta. Very well played, good teamwork. Mo misses the shot, though. A little bit of a missed opportunity for Gambit to really wreck things and try and bring it back for themselves.
Look at Doja, though. He's actually run into T-spawn. Oh, no, he's going to run into everyone here. Too many targets all at once, and in a really sort of twisted way, it ends up working out in CLG's favor. Normally, that's when you've hit the jackpot on the CT side. If you can get into T-spawn like that, you pretty much control the whole map. But they came back for him. Now it's Hooch playing on the stairwell here. Peter on the other side with his knife out. And just managed to switch to the rifle, not quick enough to get the kill though. And now they're gonna charge in. They see that as a sign that going A is the right move. Adrian is here and he's gonna call for backup. They have almost no grenades on Gambit. That is a really big issue.
Yeah, how do you retake? I mean, how do you actually get it rolling? Space has a single flash, there's a smoke on him as well. It's all on this guy now. And well, I mean, they are going to be moving up on catwalk moves there with this AWP, but nobody's speaking from CLG. They're doing a fine job right now of just trying to burn time off of this clock. They don't care if they go up with the bomb at this point. They just want the round. Adrian's going to take Hayes, though, and Mo's finding the shot on Tarek. It's now down to the long defense. Cutler and Kusta has that AWP. Cutler up close, loses the spray fight, and Hooch with the long term, well, I mean, with the long con, basically, lurks his way out onto long and catches out Kusta. Perfect retake for Gambit. They don't need nades, Anders. They don't need nades. They just walk in and take fights and win fights.
And crucially, the one that they had on Space, which they would have needed if Hooch hadn't killed Kusta down there, he was coming up through CT spawn. So if that grenade got lost on the slope there, they don't have the smoke to defuse. But a lot of credit to Hooch. This is one of those areas of Counter-Strike that's so murky, but playing long like that and waiting until the perfect time to go and get the kill is really, really hard to do, right? So definitely very impressed. That was a very good job on Hooch there, staying put for a long time. 14-10 is what we're looking at. And again, as we pointed out, no matter who would lose the round, they wouldn't have money to buy CLG. I'm wondering if we are seeing some sort of timeout or tactical timeout here. It could be.
They get 1 per map, right? So you get, at any point you can use your timeout, but you only get the 1. It should be a 2-minute long timeout as well. So it's basically like, right, thanks to the wall.
Can I point something out here that's confusing to me? You know, Gambit's got that red star as part of their logo.
Right.
But the CLG guys, they have a star on their uniform as well on the side. That really messes me up. That's more than my brain can handle.
I wonder. There's like some symmetry
Look at
going.
that.
You're right. Is that actually like the Captain America sort of style going on here? I think that's what's going on.
It could be.
Because you have a bunch of stars. You notice that like in light blue, right? A bunch of stars in the blue as well.
Yeah, it was just the 4th of July, wasn't it? So
Yes, it was. But you know, I'm so out of touch with holidays. I didn't even know. Like to me, it's just like, oh yeah, okay. So travel to Cologne, get ready for the major, and then everybody's just like, Happy Independence Day. I was just like, oh right.
personally a bit sad that I wasn't in America when that happened. I feel like that could be fun.
Especially because they'll go to like what baseball stadiums and stuff like that, and just fire off fireworks everywhere. Football stadiums, like there's a lot of fireworks going on.
When I was flying out of Chicago to come here, there were some early fireworks. I guess people just being a little bit early at it because that wasn't the 4th, but you know there were already people sort of celebrating preemptively. So that was a cool shot. Nighttime over Chicago and fireworks going off when you were on the airplane. I like it. On a more serious note, though, we got CLG buying up here, so they're not going to go for the eco. They forced it up anyway. Guess they don't want to play for overtime. Can't really blame them, but it is a big risk. They need some sort of big breakthrough here, and I'm noticing they haven't really tried too much for the catwalk hits yet. They've had a couple of them, but they haven't gone really hard at it.
I was thinking the same thing, but like what's difficult for CLG right now is that Gambit have actually shown quite a few different ways that they're willing to hold, right? They're putting 3 guys over towards B. They're going for default holds. They're challenging it long. They're challenging it. They're basically showing a pretty large variety. So it's kind of tough for Peter to, put his finger down and say, right, this is what we got to do. There's the weakness. And in this round, Gambit, they're expecting some kind of change. So they go back to much more of a default kind of way to approach things. You can see Mo, he's set up at Cars, now on A site, and they're just spread. They're like, right, you guys can have mid. We're going to focus 3 on A, 2 on B, and just try and lock things down. And if you go for the B split, well, we do have a man in CT to cover that. That's Adrian, so I like it here. Gambit, man, really just kind of spreading themselves out.
Well, I mean, it is getting to the point where they can't really make any more mistakes here, so we'll see if CLG can find a way through at all. Mo up on the A bomb site, and he's got that AWP. He's not got that many grenades. In fact, in general, Gambit are a little bit low on grenades, but we've got to give them a lot of credit. We were sort of saying that the big worry was whether or not they'd be able to play the CT side well enough, and they have. I think they've shown some really good defense on CT side so far. So now it's up to CLG to show us what they can do on the T side here. Got the bomb in upper dark. That's a big tell that something might be up. I think they might actually try to split B, having Tarek jump down. He actually waits on the ledge. That can get you killed in so many ways, but instead they pick up Hooch, and that leaves Space alone, and he somehow sprays down both players. What an incredible defense, and now the bomb is dropped. He has control over it right now, and it's just waiting for them to show up. Space very nearly with the triple kill, but they are going to make it back, and Tarek waiting in CT spawn, and there's almost no way Mo should know, but he is going to check. It seems he's looking for it. He's worried as well. It's going to be the peek in, and Tarek will still take him down. Adrian charging in from behind and picking up Cutler. Now, this is just a brutal fight. No more tactics, just going to be down to the aim, it seems. It's a 2-on-2. Adrian and Dozier left here. Flashbang coming in. Tarek shooting on the other side. He's flashed. What a great grenade, and Adrian will close it out. That's going to be 15 rounds for Gambit. What a retake, and what a play here. Triple from the Kazakhstani player.
Yeah, I mean, talk about your star coming through in the end. We've seen that all week long at E-League. It was Adrian leading the charge for Gambit. He's the one who's doing a lot of the work for them. And again, in a round that matters, that puts them up onto match point, and they have 5 of them now. CLG got a bomb plant, but it's still not going to be a pretty buy for them. They just don't have the money to go for full rifles. And so, yeah, Adrian.
Also, honorable mention to Space, who shot down. I mean, because imagine if he just trades 1-for-1,
it's not good enough.
They'd probably just straight lose the round. I'm not even sure it would make sense for Gambit to retake. If it was just a 1-for-1 trade, then they probably just don't even try. So, what a ridiculous round. Good leg shot coming in on Tarek, and CLG gambling everything on this round. They have to. They got no choice. It's match and match point here for Gambit. One more round, and CLG gonna end up losing the first one here.
Mo is just unbelievably quick, but that was a fantastic shot from Hazed at the barrel's top mid. Spots him out, and he'll get the follow-up on Hooch as well, and now they can just go straight out onto the B site. Adrian trying to make a difference. He's going to get that flash down. Little does he know, Kusta waiting around the angle. Spaze, though, is going to be there to take the shot, and now it's a 3-on-4 retake here for the B site. Tarek about to be gifted an HE, but it's going to go a bit too far behind him.
How does that not kill him? That's so close. The big thing here is the fact that Peter is still holding in middle on the catwalk. There's a good kill coming in. So no bomb plant just yet, but Peter should be able to at least make a difference right now. Although, because the bomb is not down, they're not fully focused on the site. And Now that position has been revealed. That also means they know there's only 2 people left inside the bomb site. So if they try and plant, this is kind of what happens. They're going to charge in. Hazed picks another kill, making it a triple. It's still a 2-on-2. The bomb plant is still not happening. And Hazed, he's starting to miss shot. He's down to 25 health, and I have no idea how he's still alive. Peter picking up the kill, and Edren alone now in a 1-on-2 and trying to see if he could find another rifle. I think he just wants anything but an AWP. Finally, there's the M4, and the bomb will be going down. Now it's a 1-on-1. They throw out a grenade, and he's going to try and peek through in the smoke. He takes a bit of damage. Adrian has to get this round. CLG, he can't let them back in the game, and it is ticking away underneath. He's got the kid. He's trying to see if he could sniff it out, and it's just a patience battle right now. CLG trying to hold strong inside, and finally, they're going to do it in a quad kill. But James Cobb, also known as Hazed, what an incredible round.
Well, that is just, well, chaos. How do you break that down?
Kills. He's top fragging Hazed. I have no idea where this is coming from.
Remember what I said? Hazed, when Hazed starts to wake up, that's when CLG, have a chance. I mean, you can't count on him delivering a quad kill, but also just such a chaotic, ugly round, really. I mean, CLG, that bomb was just not... They had the site for ages, and the bomb was just stuck on the site. They were never actually able to get it down. Gambit, they never let them get comfortable. There's the breaking point, and well, now it's going to be the straight-up YOLO rush out onto the B site. No time wasted. Peta with the pop flash, or rather Adrian with the pop flash. We'll be able to pick up the one. Hooch trying to follow it up, not going to happen. So CLG showing some, well, some bravery, basically. No fear at all. Just go charging out onto the site. And we find ourselves in a similar position again. All 4 players here for Gambit waiting on the outside, hoping to be able to just rush down and deny this bomb plant.
Hazed is holding from behind, and going to be an easy kill on Hooch then. And unlike last time, Gambit obviously don't have the same resources to try and fight with, so it should be a 12th round here for CLG. They're fighting for overtime in their first match of the major, and it's not impossible that that can happen. They essentially just need to win one more big round, and that's all CLG have in terms of money. They won't have that much more.
I like the rotation coming out here from Gambit. They're like, right, we showed ourselves on slope. Now let's go and see if we can get lucky in T-spawn. Hazed is going to doe Mo. He's going to hit the headshot on Spaze, and now all 3 headshots. Hazed just getting fed kills. Another quad kill for him. Anti-eco quad kills, so I mean, a little bit less valuable than the round before, but still, Hazed, he's starting to hit some shots.
Those were some good, some good headshots. I'm starting to get a bit worried.
What, is there a chance you think that the Gambit will throw away 3 rounds in a row? They're on match point right now.
I'm just wondering where this version of Hazed comes from, because it's been quite a while. And I would even say in the past when Hazed has shown up, it's mostly against other American teams, which, by default, we don't credit this as much.
It's fair. It is fair. I mean, NA usually the underdogs when it comes to facing off against the EU. But right now, man, this is Gambit basically, well, swinging for the fences. They've gone for an early buy. They don't want to go for some kind of half buy or anything like that to get all of the nades in the next round. No, they're going to go for the buy here. 3 rifles, an SMG, an AWP on Moo, but it's a glass cannon one, and they hardly have any nades to speak of. So Gambit really just, it either ends now or we're going to 30 rounds, which is nuts. I mean, they're really just going for the wire here.
Yeah, that is very nearly what's on the line right now. Mo up on the bomb site here, and he's got a little bit of backup, and Adrian down on the slope. This is a really good setup because you either have to focus on the AWP, and if you do that, then Adrian has a lot of opportunity to get some good headshots in. This is that catwalk push that we were finally going to get to see. We were talking about it earlier, but they actually jump down, and again, they try and split. So repeating that same round, and it worked last time, maybe it will work again. Hooch picking up a kill, Kusta with 1. Now Hooch has a turnaround. Does get a good double in, but he was out of bullets. Now the bomb is going to be going down, and because they don't have the money, I don't actually think Doja and Mo should try and fight this.
Not Mo, at least. Doja's got a UMP, but Mo, I mean, if Doja can find a gun somewhere, unfortunately, he's over in T-spawn, so he's not going to be so lucky. There's going to be, what, Cutler holding. They've got a crossfire set up between Peta and Cutler towards Upper Dark, so Doja should not really be able to get out here and get anything done. Mo trying to draw attention to himself in mid, but yeah, they're already thinking about backing off at this point, Gambit. They really don't have anything to work with. If he could actually make his way back to pick up a rifle from somewhere, Doja, that would be good. That would be acceptable.
They have something like $850 in total on their team at the end of this round. Obviously, they're going to get the loss bonus in, but still, this is fairly miserable at this point in time. They are just not in a very good spot on the Gambit team, so this could very well be overtime. It's great that he saves the AK. That will come into play later on. Now, they need to save the unless they want to go for like a mad buy with Pistol's armor here, but I really don't think that's the best choice. I think just save the AK and AWP unless you can win the round with them. But 29th round is coming up, ladies and gentlemen. CLG really fighting hard to stay in this game. They've won the last 3 in a row. They've got Hazed dropping a 30 bomb out of nowhere.
And the rest of the team just trying to keep up. But they figured out the weakness for Gambit. They realized on that B site, it's just a little bit shaky. It's not quite good enough to stop them from running out straight. This time around, however, CLG, they've gone B a couple times. They're like, right, okay, time to change it up. They're going to go and put some pressure on A long. They're looking to get those rifles into play. They know that Gambit are going to be in a bit of an awkward spot economically, and so if there's pistols waiting for you on long, great. Go with the rifles, look for the long-range fight. Only problem is they need to figure out where Moo is on this map. He hasn't shown himself yet. And Mo is currently camped out on Catwalk, so this could get nasty. If he manages to make his way back over here to get eyes towards long, CLG, they run the risk of getting picked off.
He's going to be rotating in. A bit of a smoke there, and a nice flick coming out. Kusta's out of it. They keep fighting, and they definitely shouldn't just leave Mo alone right now. That's going to be one more kill happening, and Hazed in the middle spraying furiously, but they find the other AK. Somehow they ran into the AK, the AWP, and they lose 3 members. At CLG, this might be the end of the line, and I can't even think of a more painful way to possibly lose a match here.
Basically the worst case scenario. You actually do the one thing that will lose you this game, which is, hey, where's the op? Let's keep challenging the op. It's like you lose one guy to the op, okay, that's bad enough. But to keep challenging the op, that's, well, I mean, obviously Mo gets 2 kills and he's still alive. He's still got control. He's at cars now, so CLG, are they actually going to be able to make their way up Catwalk? It seems like that's what they've got their hearts set on right now. 30 seconds left. Cutler and Peta paired up together. Mo's going to be a distraction, though. He's going to take a couple shots, and CLG will be focused on him. Hooch, though, is the security. He's got his CZ, and he's holding in Goose. And they aren't going to be able to check that, CLG. So Mo's going to hit the first shot. Adrian the second with the flank on Catwalk, and that's it. It's over. 16-13. Gambit will be moving on to face off against Astralis in the winner match. CLG, they drop down to face off against Dignitas in the elimination match.
Yeah, you are right indeed, and that won't be an easy fight either. Dignitas for sure going to want to try and see if they get back and fight Astralis again later on. Now, I've got to say, overall, that was just a pretty good CT side for Gambit, which is encouraging. Definitely very, very impressed that they were able to do that. So now it becomes a bit of an interesting group here. I mean, CLG not quite doing as well as maybe we were hoping here on the second half. I think the T side was a little bit lackluster. We'll see if they could do better. Yeah,
that's the, well, it's right, you know, shaky start, basically. Peta, there's been a few roster moves recently. Kusta, Peta, you know, there's just been a lot working against CLG.
Yeah.
Gambit have had at least a little bit of stability, although Spaze, you know, has recently come in to replace Waylander. I mean, that's just one guy, right? These guys, like CLG, have had 2 guys changing up, just chaos, right? So it's very difficult to show what you're capable of when you have everything working against you. This time around, Gambit, they managed to hold strong, and they're going to be moving on. It's kind of the expected result. But we will be throwing it to break before we come back, perhaps with an interview, perhaps with the desk. We shall see. Stick around and find out.